What's up, Lava Jacob? Hmm. Have you seen this video before? Ah. What's up, Alex? Oh, don't do that. I have no interest in talking about that game, Super Pony. None. No interest. None. Some pics are questionable. Well, you know. You could probably say that about anybody's video. Or anybody's worst to best list. Fantano is a clown. Occasionally. It's got some rough takes from time to time. I'm not gonna lie. He does. The tache is questionable. Oh, the mustache? Is that what you meant? Pin sticker? The mustache? Yeah. Um, his or mine? I mean, I barely have one. I'm assuming you mean his. His is a lot more noticeable. Um, yeah, I don't know about his. He usually looks better with just like some scruff, not like going full blown mustache like that. Alright, I think we got enough people in here to get this rolling. Okay, so I'm pretty sure if you clicked on this video, you probably know who this is, but in case you don't, this is Mr. Well, you can't see where I'm. Doesn't matter where I'm pointing. This is Anthony Fantano. He is one of, if not the most popular music reviewers on the internet as a whole, but YouTube specifically. Um, and he occasionally makes worst to best videos where he will rank. I mean, he's probably going to explain this in the video, but whatever. He's going to rank all the Pink Floyd albums from what he thinks is their worst album to what he thinks is their best album. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's the gist of it. He's a very controversial figure in the music review, in music reviewing. I didn't have a good word for that. Um, yeah, you probably know who he is. Certainly, you should if you're watching. I mean, maybe you don't if you're watching this stream, but that's who he is. So yeah, I'm gonna react to his Pink Floyd one. Um, Now, Pink Floyd, if you look at like their discography on Spotify or whatever music streaming app, they'll have like 15 albums that are not like 15 studio albums. I'm pretty sure he only ranks 13 of them. He doesn't put the album More and the album Obscured by Clouds on this list because they were like albums that were made as movie soundtracks. I don't really know why he didn't count them. I mean, if I was going to make this list, I would have counted them, but whatever. It's his list. He can do what he wants. It's his channel. He can do what he wants. But yeah, we're going to see what I think of his list. His Pink Floyd album list. So, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Wow. Finally. Finally, we are here, and it is time. Yes, it is time.
Is it?
Worst to best is back. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And we have returned with another installment.
Hope you're doing well,
years
Anthony.
After the last one, of our worst to best series, going over the major studio releases of a given artist and ranking those records from their worst to their best. This one over here for Pink Floyd, the legendary progressive and psychedelic rock outfit hailing from the UK, has been long awaited and long promised. I'm sorry it has taken so long. But you know what?
Okay.
Finally, it is here. The ranking is done and ordered, and I'm going to give you all the records from the worst to the best, and will give my reasoning why with each placement. So, yeah, that's the deal. Let's do it. Here we go.
Okay, 13, The Endless River. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. It's boring, for sure. But I don't know if it's... I don't like... They have a couple albums that are worse, for sure. It's just boring. I wouldn't say it's their worst album, though.
Yes, we are starting with the 2014 album, The Endless River, which is obviously the latest and will most likely go down as the last Pink Floyd album.
Probably.
And it's one of a few records I'm going to talk about in this list that feels like a Pink Floyd album in name and in name only. But given that Pink Floyd's roster has rotated multiple times over the course of the band's career in terms of personnel and writing responsibilities, I guess you could get away with calling this a Pink Floyd album, especially given the material on it is based on the efforts of guitarist David Gilmour, bolstered by some keys from the late, great Richard Wright. But yeah, with Roger Waters having departed from the group years ago, at this point, the band is mostly David, and it's the only Pink Floyd album that I've had personally the chance as a reviewer to cover and talk about upon its release. And while I deeply appreciate the opportunity to do that, the material on this album is just kind of passable for the most part. I mean, it's been 20 years since the release of the band's last official album, The Division Bell, and the cuts on here that don't sound like gentle doctor's office music, as well as ambient new age synth motifs, pretty much come across as still being stuck in that era. That era being a time in the 90s when the band's sound was pretty stagnant still at that point, which makes Endless River feel kind of like an echo of an echo. Plus, the expanded edition of this record features numerous tracks that just kind of feel like Pink Floyd ripping itself off. Again, on some level, to simply call this a Pink Floyd album feels like David Gilmour is getting away with something. But I guess this record is okay if you are specifically seeking out what exactly it is. A series of moments that feel like the lengthier instrumental bits from the band's classic catalog, and just kind of leaving it at that. Overall, this record's greatest sin, in my opinion, is just being painfully inoffensive, and that's about it.
I guess. 12, the final cut. See, but the final cut is awful, though. Like, the Endless River is just boring and just pointless. The final cut is, like, terrible. It's annoying. It's also boring. It's whiny. The vocals are atrocious. It's just, like, the worst parts of The Wall put onto one album. So, the final cut is a far more offensive album to me than The Endless River is.
Okay,
Ummagumma's
next
already
one
too high.
is the Final Cut,
Not gonna
1983
skip it
release
there.
and the band's 12th studio album at the time,
Cover
and the
sucks,
last one
too.
to feature the songwriting and singing of Mr. Roger Waters.
Well,
now, the original intent
never really
behind this
wanted
record,
his
if you
singing
are
there,
unfamiliar,
but
was
whatever.
to essentially complement the recently released The Wall film and build off of its unprecedented success. I mean, this album, The Final Cut, even had its own short film companion release too. So on some level I could see how Waters might have been trying to essentially recreate the success that he had for a second time with this project, get into a bit of a groove here promotionally and conceptually. Also continue Pink Floyd's tradition of making music that has connections to the film world, but you know, the execution, the writing felt terribly short in this instance. I'm sure everyone watching this video is already familiar with the classic 1979 album The Wall, which I will talk about more later. But the movie The Wall took a few more years to produce and release, especially since the concept and artistic makeup of it had changed a few.
Should say the movie The Wall? I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the movie The Wall. Not big on it.
Few
Rough
times
watch.
since Waters had originally conceived it, but after releasing one of the most well-known and beloved concept albums of all time, Pink Floyd was pretty much given free rein to
What's
make
up,
this
Hugo?
thing and just expand on this Wall era visually.
All you missed was that he put the Endless River at 13. He put the Endless River at last.
As well
Last
as
place.
musically, which leaves us with the Final Cut over here, which in a way is like a soundtrack to the musical drama, leftovers or add-ons from this era, or at least that's how it kind of feels. I guess the concept behind this record also shifted at one point as Waters was kind of inspired by the recent Falklands War that had spurred up due to England invading Argentina. So with no true steady creative hand guiding this album, the lack of expectations and boundaries and full creative control began to create tensions within the band, which led to keyboardist Richard Wright leaving. Nick Mason and David Gilmour are said to have not really been crazy about the direction this record was taking either, and I think this record is one of those instances in which where how misguided those changes were is reflected in the audience reaction, truly, because this record was widely considered to be a commercial flop for Pink Floyd, really a fall from grace considering what the band had just pulled off commercially with The Wall. But in short, if you are to actually give this record a shot, what you could expect is basically the musical theatrics and drama of the Wall era multiplied by about 2 or 3, while simultaneously subtracting anything musically that would actually grab the attention of maybe a more casual rock fan, which, I mean, is exactly what the biggest singles from the Wall era did. You know, this album must be what the Wall sounds like to the nostalgia critic. For sure in this track list there are most definitely some really emotionally potent and powerful moments, but for the most part the overall experience of the Final Cut is that it drags and just progressively wears on you over time, as Roger Waters, I think, is just way too enamored with his own theatrical performances throughout this project, even if there are a lot of admirable intentions behind the social commentary packed into this record.
I mean, yeah, if God, that album feels like it's so much longer than it really is, in the worst way possible. Oh my gosh, that album never ends. And there's like, you could maybe argue that there's 2 passable songs on the entire thing. Yeah, it's awful. I will agree that it is their second worst album, but I don't think, I still wouldn't put Endless River as their worst album. Let's see. What's up, Jonathan? This must be the one. Yeah. 11 is a momentary lapse of reason. Or third worst. I mean, I don't like it. I don't remember where I put it in when when we did the Pink Floyd discography, and at the end of doing it, we ranked all their albums. I don't recall where this. I mean, it was certainly on the lower end because I don't like 80s or 90s Pink Floyd. I'm not too torn up that this is this low. It's not a good album.
All right, we are moving forward on this next one. We have a Momentary Lapse of Reason, the band's 1987 record.
You could argue this is their third
another
worst
project
album.
that really causes you to ask, is this seriously a Pink Floyd album? I'm sorry this list is so front-loaded with releases like this, but I mean, they exist and I have to talk about them. But yeah, at this point in the band's catalog, Roger Waters is gone, and as a result, Nick and David are mostly left up to their own devices, with some outside writers jumping into the mix here and there as well to kind of pull things together. So in a way, we're kind of shifting from a record that sounds like a Roger Waters solo LP to a David Gilmour solo LP, and while it's far from perfect, it's a pretty easy, breezy listen, and sonically lands closer to what you would expect a Pink Floyd album to sound like, you know, as opposed to the final cut, even with all of the drum machines and big 80s rock style production in full swing. This thing doesn't really come through with a heavy concept either, and a lot of the material here was originally intended for a David Gilmour solo release, and while all of the grand, progressive, showy instrumentation that made so many Pink Floyd albums up until this point great is here in spades, the writing and lyricism does lack a certain urgency and bite, and not having Roger Waters here makes it kind of apparent that he was, for the most part, bringing that to the table. So with that change on this record, Pink Floyd kind of ended up sounding like some very sleek Christian rock production piece or something. You know, just imagine all the songs are about Jesus and you're essentially there. Still though, there are some very impressive solos and instrumental flourishes throughout this project. The keyboard work is great too, with Richard Wright back in the mix, of course. But I doubt many songs on this thing have or are going to stick with you if you happen to give it a spin. Even the funky, chill little single, Learning to Fly. But yeah, in its best pockets, you get a sort of Pink Floyd sound, but it doesn't really have the punch or passion that made a lot of their classic work so great.
I mean, yeah, it's corny. It's very corny. I don't like anything about the production on that or the Division Bell. Yeah, it all sounds overblown, fake as hell, and takes out like almost all of the emotion in the songs for me. Also, the lyrics are just not good. 10 is the Division Bell. I mean, you can put the Division Bell and Momentary Lapse of Reason right next to each other, although it is a little silly how high Ummagumma is going right now, considering Ummagumma is easily their worst album to me. Remember the masterpieces of the New Machine Part 1 and 2. How could one forget? Honestly. Division Bell at 10. We're certainly getting pretty high with their actual worst album.
Okay,
here.
Division Bell time, which it was just the 30th anniversary of this album's release, and I understand if this is not a record that lands in the top 3 of many Pink Floyd fans, but you could at least say it was a noticeable improvement beyond its 1987 predecessor. And yeah, it is true, what is left of the band during this era of its career between Wright and Mason and Gilmour, it may sound like a pale imitation of itself on some level. They're still at least doing a better job of kind of getting into the full swing of things with this lineup and actually formulating a sound that simultaneously honors Pink Floyd's classic highlights, but also embracing this kind of bright, somewhat futuristic, new age-ified era for the band aesthetically, which I think Floyd's trademark keys and guitar work play into really naturally. I also commend the band on this record for getting back to basics in terms of like really focusing on a concept and a theme, as between Wearing the Inside Out and What Do You Want From Me, you have a lot of tracks on this record addressing interpersonal relationships, specifically interpersonal communication in the context of division, to which you can attribute amazing lyrical highlights like, so I open my door to my enemies and I ask, could we wipe the slate clean, but they tell me to please go fuck myself. You know, you just can't win. Also, given the point where the band is at in their career right now with this record, I don't really blame them for the nostalgia they exhibit for their salad days, or at least a perceived time where there was less division socially on the closing track, which is hauntingly beautiful in its own way. Agree with this concept or not, it does seem to genuinely inspire some passionate songwriting that just wasn't there to the same degree on Momentary Lapse of Reason. And while the record isn't bad, it's not really exciting either. I can understand why a lot of the reviews in initial response to this album were pretty underwhelmed. It's not really living up to the classics, but I still think this is a pretty cohesive record that maybe could gain some new appreciation out of the context of its original release. Maybe it doesn't mean much, but I think there is an argument to be made that this is like the band's best post-The Wall album. So take that for what it's worth, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it would be the best post The Wall album they made, but it's not a compliment. 9 is Ummagumma. Well, see, this is actually the worst one. I would imagine, like, the only way you could really justify this being not the worst one to me is if you're just, like, really into the live stuff. But I don't, like, I don't even really care that much about the songs that are played live on this album, because they're all super early Pink Floyd songs, and I just don't care about those songs that much. But like the studio stuff on here is just awful. It's so bad. It's so directionless. It's so poorly thought out. They just don't know they don't even know what they're trying. I don't even think they knew what they were trying to do. They were just throwing things at the wall and seeing what stuck. But what stuck was awful. It's just so bad. It's so stupid. Ummagumma is better than all the post-Wall albums? No. No, it's not. Ummagumma is the worst album Pink Floyd ever made. It's just a pre-concept album they wanted to experiment. Well, they had been experimenting since Piper, but if they wanted to experiment, I mean, that's fine. But I think they failed in, like, every conceivable way.
Okay, next.
Awful.
Ummagumma, the band's 1969 album. We're finally
Ummagumma,
getting into the 60s era.
it.
Whoa, crazy. But yeah, if you're a Pink Floyd fan that has really dove into the catalog, I don't think you'll be surprised to find this album landing as low as it does in this list. For anyone who isn't in the know, maybe it's best to kind of steer clear of this one until you've heard all the classics and everything like that. I would hate for a record like this to sort of paint your view of the band and their abilities and talents. In this section of the video, I should probably also mention the More soundtrack that preceded this record too, which was the first project of material the band generated after Syd Barrett left. It charted pretty well and was packed with a lot of improvised jams. And being a soundtrack as well, this record over here essentially works as a bridge to gap these different eras of Pink Floyd's discography, going from the Syd Barrett era into more soundtrack work and eventually the band's progressive material in the 70s. Just know going into this record, it is long, it is disorganized, and it is cumbersome. And it works in various sections. You have some live performances of previously released material that are pretty decent, several more passages then of studio material that are helmed
those
by
songs
Pink Floyd's
aren't even that
remaining
memorable.
members post the Syd Barrett departure. And for sure it's experimental, it's out there, there are unpredictable moments and ideas that crop up here and there, but is it good? I wouldn't say so. If there even is a saving grace to this album, it's the live material. And to put this record in a nutshell, it really just sounds like the band is trying to find their footing again after such a massive, radical lineup change. And again, I would only recommend this to a listener if they were really in the market for some odds and ends and curious monstrosities in the band's catalog, because even some of their more lesser known soundtrack albums sound more well put together and focused than this.
Ooh.
Next,
Adam Hart Mother at 8. Let's see. You can make you can make the argument for this being 8. I don't have any massive problems with that. That's fine. It's fine at 8. I mean, if it shouldn't be here, where should it be? And don't say the top 5. You know damn well that this is not a top 5 Pink Floyd album. Get out of here with that. It's not a top 5. It's better than Piper and Saucer. Okay. Sure. Fine. But, like, 8 is not an unreasonable place to put it. Like, I might throw it at 7. But going from 7 to 8 is not like, what? If you think it shouldn't be at 8, like, is it too high or is it too low? It's better than more. Again, probably. But, like, saying that it's better than other albums that I would just put below it anyway, it's like, well, yeah, but, like, there's albums after it that are way better. So...
Next, we are traveling forward a little bit to 1970 for the release of Pink Floyd's album Adam Hart Mother, and I would say this is really the band's first proper studio album release post the departure of Syd Barrett. However, it's only somewhat more cohesive and less fragmented than its predecessor Ummagumma, mostly due to a lot of the record's style and appeal being couched in its 23-minute title track, which is a mind-blowing multi-phased orchestral...
Okay, relax. It's not that good. It's fine.
It's
fine.
It's
fine.
And really ominous
It's
layers
fine.
of keys and bass, guitar in
Relax.
the mix as well, and it all culminates into a really powerful progression. The rest
Does
of the record,
it?
though, I can mostly
It's
take
fine.
Even with Summer 68's really impressive
Summer
horn passages,
68
even with
clears
Battle of the Suns'
it.
passionate guitar solos, even with Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast being a pretty endearing instrumental cut.
Alan's
But yeah,
Psychedelic
I think the
Breakfast
record
is
is
a
okay,
mess.
but maybe not quite as exciting or essential as what they would do down the road, or even what happened a bit prior, which we will get into.
Meddle at 7. Okay, see now we've messed up a little bit here. We messed up a lot here. Meddle at 7 is crazy low. Meddle is, in my eyes, unquestionably a top 5 Pink Floyd album. I don't get this at all. It's head and shoulders better than everything that came before it. And better than a couple of things that came after it. Or, at least in the 70s, better than a couple of things that came after it. Better than everything that came after The Wall, too. I mean, I'm putting Meddle at 4. Honestly. So, 7 is crazy low. It's got fucking echoes.
Next, we move on to 1971, when the band released Meddle, the follow-up to Adam Hart Mother, from which a lot of creative parallels to other records in Pink Floyd's discography can be drawn. While I don't think the highs on this one are as grand or as epic as some of the best moments on Adam Hart Mother,
That's
it's
insane.
still a more cohesive record overall. The acoustic riffs and songwriting on Fearless...
Echoes is so much better. Echoes is like significantly better than everything on Adam Hart Mother. Fearless is better than everything on Adam Hart Mother.
make this track one of the catchiest Pink Floyd would pen during this era, and the delay-soaked bass and drums on the opener would create these sort of cinematic prog grooves that later records like Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall would be decked out with. Finally, the 23-minute closing track showcases the band really nailing it in terms of creating a larger, more massive piece that really goes the distance and yet has a great flow to it, sounds super cohesive.
Yeah, that's the reason that it's one of the greatest songs ever made.
Should also note around this time Pink Floyd had been tasked with creating some soundtrack work for another film, La Vallée, with which they took a more concise approach with the song structuring and writing, and these recordings would later be assembled into 1972's Obscured by Clouds. But yeah, Meddle I think is a very solid record in the Pink Floyd discography, but for the most part I kind of see this record as something that artistically paved the way for a lot of ideas that would come into full fruition on Dark Side of the Moon. I understand why for some fans these records may be favorites, but to me this time period is not really where Pink Floyd is at their full power level.
But it's where they started their full power level. Meddle is so much better than Piper. Meddle is crazy better than Piper. I mean, just straight from a performance standpoint, blows Piper out of the water. Lyrically, Fearless and Echoes have better lyrics than anything Syd Barrett ever came up with in his life, let alone while he was in Pink Floyd. The production is infinitely better because the production on Piper is terrible. And, I mean, just personally, I come back to Meddle a million times more than I come back to Piper.
Okay, moving up further on the list, we have a very beloved record in the band's discography. That would be the 1967 LP Piper at the Gates of Dawn, a significant album in the Pink Floyd discography because it is their first with one of their most celebrated lineups, a time when the band had been fronted by psych rock legend Syd Barrett, who was really the prime vocalist and songwriter of the band at the time, which is why when you talk about the progression of Pink Floyd, you do have to break it up into eras a little bit. And again, for many fans, the Syd Barrett era is a favorite, not just in the Pink Floyd discography, but for classic rock and psychedelic rock in general. And many would argue at the time Pink Floyd was really at the cutting edge of psychedelic and experimental rock as we know it. However, I personally think the band would go on to make for a much better progressive rock group than psychedelic rock group. And when you compare this record to stuff that was already happening at the time with the Beatles and the Velvet Underground and Hendrix, 13th Floor Elevators, Captain Beefheart, Frank Zappa, it's not quite as novel or as groundbreaking as some may make it seem. However, I will say Piper is loaded with some genuinely weird and out there and fun experiments and wild performances. Sometimes the band's chemistry leaves a bit to be desired, and the presentation of these tracks can either come across a bit too stiff or even loose and messy. You can really tell in the studio on this one the band is just fueled by pure raw intuition and probably a lot of mind-altering substances, as they're just kind of doing any random thing they feel like, which is how you get freewheeling cuts like the 9-minute and 41-second Interstellar Overdrive, which is this heavy psych odyssey packed with totally out-of-control riffs and lots of keyboard passages and drum fills flying in every direction.
Terrible.
But by that same token, you also get this awkward plotting song about a gnome, a scarecrow too, though that one's a bit more symbolic. Not that that makes the clip-clop percussion in the background go down any easier.
Interstellar Overdrive is
strange
awful.
use of effects and some crazy panning left and right throughout
terrible.
the LP2. Some genuine attempts at theatrics and drama as well on Chapter 24. But yeah, I know I'm committing a bit of classic rock blasphemy by putting this album around the middle of this list, but this is just not my preferred Floyd era, even though I can appreciate the influence and impact this album has had on a lot of records and groups that I love. Following,
I guess Saucer's a little bit better than Piper. Neither of these have any business being over Meddle. That's crazy. That's absolutely bonkers. I need to space out more. Well, listening to Syd Barrett play a guitar terribly. Oh horribly, horrendously, is not my idea of spacing out.
This in the list, we are going with 1968's Saucerful of Secrets, the second full-length LP the band released in the midst of the Syd Barrett era, which I know I've already talked about as not being like my favorite point in the band's career, but A Saucerful of Secrets is still a pretty sick album, and in my opinion, an improvement on what the band was doing on their very chaotic debut. Sure, you could say the tracks on this record are not as outwardly experimental or weird, but in terms of performance and focus and cohesive ideas, Pink Floyd is sounding a lot more like a well-oiled machine on this record. The fluid and winding song structures throughout this record make the experience of these songs a lot more immersive and trippy. The band was getting better at evoking certain feelings as well, like on key passages of Let There Be More Light, which are genuinely chilling, strange, and most importantly, enchanting. And while we do have a trimmer track list this time around, the record still has its share of surprises, like with the very transcendental
Set the controls for the heart of the sun,
or the zany Corporal Clegg, or the title track where the band really ups the ante with a nightmarish 12-minute jam. Sometimes the vocals do leave a bit to be desired. Maybe historically there isn't as much to say about this album as there may be other Pink Floyd albums, but as far as explorative, surreal, and sometimes unnerving psychedelic rock goes, this is one of the best in the band's discography and in the genre generally.
Oh, for Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, I would put it at 3, but it's not like the worst take I've ever heard. I mean, it's not so much that I have a problem with the placement of Dark Side. Granted, it's number 3, but it's what is going to be above it that should not be above it. Because obviously the Wall is going to be above it because he hasn't mentioned the Wall yet. And the Wall should not be above it. The Wall should be below it because Dark Side is better than the Wall. But I mean, he's one spot on.
Here we
It's not
are,
the end of the
next
world.
on the list, the placement of The Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd's 1973 album, which is maybe the most celebrated record in progressive rock history. And I can see why it's such a focal point in the band's discography, and it's not just because of its iconic and instantly recognizable cover art, but I would say on this record is really where the band came into their own and developed a sound and style that was truly unique to them, and combine that with just timeless songwriting with multiple tracks kind of flowing into each other musically and thematically, like on Brain Damage Eclipse where you have reflections on mental health, obviously in the context of former bandmate Syd Barrett. You have lyrics on this record too that explore the dark-sidedness of humanity, which we all share. As far as rock music goes, it's really a theater of the mind type of experience, and really one of the most profound in that vein of its time. You can really tell all the time the band put into doing soundtrack work and making music with like a cinema connection in mind is paying off on this record, as multiple songs from this thing in their own way do sound like scenes from a film, which obviously would pave the way for moments later in their discography, like The Wall. And again, that comes down to how dramatic the instrumentation is, but also all of the rich sound play throughout the record. Like, for example, on the song Time, you have all the clocks ticking and so on and so forth. The chatter in church organs that transition us into Us and Them. Or on Money, which iconically kicks off with, you know, all of this change clattering and cash registers opening and closing. A track that also features one of my favorite bass lines of all time, this crazy blues lick at 7/8. Plus, this record is also the strongest vocal showing the group had since Barrett's departure, for sure. While all those things combined don't necessarily make for my favorite Pink Floyd album, period, it's definitely their best up until this point. Some builds on this record are better than others, and I do wish there was a bit more versatility along the track list sometimes. And the whole first leg of this record, too, I do find a bit underwhelming still to this day. The Speak to Me intro is just okay. Breathe isn't exactly the most gripping tone setter, but it's still a great album and is pop.
I don't know about that. Breathe is pretty rad. Breathe is pretty great. Breathe is a pretty great song. If I have any complaints about Dark Side, On the Run, you could probably just cut On the Run out of the track list. It's not that crucial. And The Great Gig in the Sky is a little long and not nearly as memorable as other songs on there, and the same thing for Any Color You Like. They're just, those three tracks are not anywhere near, like, I don't come back to them anywhere near as much as I come back to the rest of the album. And I guess Speak to Me is whatever. You could just have made Speak to Me and Breathe one song.
Popular as it is in the band's catalog for good reason.
3 is The Wall. Well, I mean, I would put The Wall at 5. I mean, I guess if you just don't... If you just aren't annoyed by Roger Waters singing, then I guess The Wall can be this high or even higher. But Roger Waters is such a bad singer, man. Well, at least he is on The Wall and The Final Cut and everything he's made since then. The Wall is the masterpiece of masterpieces, their most epic anime. Okay, well, it's not even a top 3 pick. It's not even really that close to their best album, but whatever. I mean, lyrically, it's a very compelling story. Although, even if Roger Waters wasn't singing it, like, or singing most of it, The Trial still sucks so much. That song is still awful. No matter who sings it, it doesn't matter. Hate everything about that song. I mean, the high points are great. It's still one of their 5 best albums. But Roger Waters he's just a bad singer. After Animals, he was just a terrible singer.
While it's not technically true, if someone around me said that The Wall was like the last real, actual Pink Floyd album, I wouldn't correct them. And if this record did actually end up being the band's final LP, their real last bow before the curtain call, it would be an epic one. As commercially and creatively for the band, it was a total blowout. Especially when you take into account not just career-defining singles like Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, but the whole Wall film rollout, which further solidified the album's popularity and vision. In my opinion, it's an amazing record and really proof of everything that made
amazing
Pink
is
Floyd
a stretch.
From
It's a good album.
Songwriting
it's
to
amazing
the
is a stretch.
And
It's
guitar
good.
solo
It's an
passages,
8 out of
the
10.
emotional vocal performances, the urgent social commentary. Roger Waters really digging deeper into his feelings around fame and crashing out in the limelight and self-isolation and singing about those things from a standpoint where it's like, you know, he's acting. Now, if there is an issue with The Wall, though,
The
it's
Trial.
that the band's ambitions
Roger
on this
Waters'
LP
vocals.
did get the better of them maybe a little bit, as the overall experience of the album can be a bit daunting, with this obviously being a double LP that's around 90 minutes in length. And I suppose there's also a question as to whether or not the band was truly improving upon the sounds and ideas they had developed up until this point, or were they just doing a very extravagant indulgence in all of the ideas that have kind of culminated in the Pink Floyd discography thus far. And while I think The Wall may more be the latter, still, the ideas being brought together on this record are amazing. Though I wouldn't necessarily fault any one fan for wanting to hear those ideas condensed on another album in the band's discography, be it through the ballads on Wish You Were Here, or the political commentary on Animals, or the theatrics and anthems and career-defining singles of Dark Side of the Moon. I will continue to defend The Wall, though, for being a record that really sees Pink Floyd just reaching out into the furthest edges of the rock universe and really creating a swan song for the decade in which progressive rock really got its commercial and creative footing. In a way, I liken it to the first moon landing, or you know, any kind of journey where you're venturing into the unknown. Some bumps are going to be along the road in that pathway because you're going where man has just not gone before. But yeah, Pink Floyd really made the landing on this one and just planted their flag in it.
I mean, I don't mind I agree that it's an ambitious album, but there's so many songs that I can't listen to because Roger Waters cannot sing. He can't sing. And The Trial's just awful. musically, lyrically, vocally. I hate everything about the trial. It's terrible. 2, Wish You Were Here. That's true. Wish You Were Here is their second best album. He got that right. Good for him. That's accurate.
Okay, next in the list,
Apparently
we
he
are
got
rolling
number
the clock
1.
back
He got
a
number
few
1
years
right,
to
too.
1975 to talk about their record, Wish You Were Here. A record that sees the band expanding on a lot of the ideas they saw success with on Dark Side of the Moon, with Roger Waters and David Gilmour, exploring further their feelings on former bandmate Syd Barrett, along with mental health struggles and depression on tracks like Shine On You Crazy Diamond, as well as the title track of the record. You also have the band talking about their general disillusionment with the music industry and entertainment. And you could even argue, though, that on this record, this is where the band really had a great perfect balance between just like a general rock appeal and those additional dramatics and theatrics. But most importantly on Wish You Were Here, it's really the music and the arrangements and the flow of all these tracks together where the band truly nailed it. And obviously, in my opinion, they did it even better here than they did on Dark Side. Not only is Wish You Were Here stunning and engaging from moment to moment, but the band chemistry and performances on this one are top notch as well. David Gilmour's guitar work on this project is especially nuanced. He is just making that thing cry during some of these solos. The synths are a massive step up too, with a lot of them sounding very airy and cinematic. Evocative too, like on Shine On Parts 6 through 9. The band was still working with various sound effects on this LP too and working those into their tracks, but I think they do it here a lot more smoothly. This record may not have quite the single power that Dark Side of the Moon might, or the big grandiose showy crescendo bits like with The Great Gig in the Sky, but there are still a lot of amazing peaks across this record as well, like the intensely ominous Welcome to the Machine, as well as the emotionally devastating lyricism on the title track. But yeah, this LP for me is definitely a real favorite in their discography, and arguably their best too. One of their most relatable and cohesive albums as well, which is why it's landing so high.
I don't have a lot to do. I don't know if I have anything to disagree with there. He got the ranking right. Said pretty much everything that needed to be said about it. Yeah, I mean, it's a arguably perfect album. I mean, I do agree that Animals is better. Animals is number 1. Animals is the one I come back to the most. I mean, I Wish You Were Here is pretty damn perfect. It's pretty damn airtight track list. I don't love Welcome to the Machine, but it's cool when you're in the mood for it. Shine On You Crazy Diamond is one of the best achievements by Pink Floyd. That 9-part song is tremendous. Half a Cigar is super fun. Great lyrics. Wish You Were Here is beautiful. The title track is beautiful. Yeah, it's fucking great. Animals is number 1 though.
Okay, last bit. Oh my God, this is so long to be talking about Pink Floyd. Yeah, I guess we're at the final spot of the
Well, I've been
list.
streaming for 50 minutes.
And, yeah, it's my favorite
fine.
Pink Floyd album,
It's my
1977's
favorite too.
Animals. It's their
Hell
10th
yeah.
album, and in my opinion, the band's best album. If I were to go into the details of this record, I feel like I would be rehashing a lot of the same observations I have made for many a Pink Floyd album up until this point, and that's because Animals is further proof of the fact that Pink Floyd's direction and style wasn't just as a result of, random experimentation over the course of years and years and years. I mean, for sure, experimenting and venturing into the unknown is a key element of the band's artistry, but when you observe their progression from album to album to album, you see a lot of that came as a result of very methodical tweaking and fine-tuning, really honing a sound by slowly recording and writing release after release, and just kind of figuring out what worked and what didn't along the way, what could be improved and what was fine as is. So yeah, as a result, aesthetically and musically, Animals does share a lot of qualities and parallels with surrounding albums in the band's discography. But what makes this LP stand out, in my opinion, is that the band really, in a big way, began to tackle topics much larger than themselves here, pointing their prog rock arsenal at the political systems of the West and war, with really some of the most fiery performances across their entire catalog. The symbolism and narrative concepts throughout the record as well, I would say, are pretty fun and easy to grasp, with the different classes of individuals being addressed across the album: dogs, sheep, and pigs, which are all pulled very obviously from Animal Farm, the classic George Orwell piece. And like a lot of Pink Floyd's best stuff around this time period, you have these super lengthy, multi-phase tracks that all flow into each other like a movie. You do have these kind of acoustic ballad intros and outros with Pigs on the Wing, but then the massive core songs that make the rest of the record up range from like 10 to 17 minutes and describe the role or plight of the different animal classes on the album. But yeah, just a huge set of tracks on this thing, which are just riveting moment to moment, from the slick grooves to just passionate harmonized guitar solos, despondent acoustic rock breakdowns, synth bridges, lots of evocative sound effects. And I love how musically and narratively the whole album and its musical and its lyrical story kind of circles back around toward the end, making for what I think is the most cohesive thematic vision in the band's whole discography. It's thorough, but also very succinct and easy to grasp, and ties up very well. And for as long as these songs are, they all have really catchy moments and peaks and refrains here and there too. From Pigs, where you get "Big man, pig man, I should ride you by," where the band is like really kind of questioning authority here. Then you have Sheep, which is a message to average people about the threat posed to them by the dogs. But yeah, in my opinion, Animals is the most movie-like thing the band has done without having to attach it to a literal film. And it's a really sick movie at that. But yeah, that's my favorite Pink Floyd album. That's my #1 record in the list. Worst to best. Did it. Yep. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching.
You're welcome. The channel name was changed. The channel name was changed because the other two idiots decided to quit. Alright, what do we think of Mr. Needle Drop's Pink Floyd worst to best list? Obviously, he didn't include their two soundtrack albums, I guess because they're soundtrack albums. He didn't put More or Obscure by Clouds in there, but the other 13 were ranked. Why did they quit? Ryan is very busy with personal life stuff, and Noah kind of just got burnt out from it. You must know another two idiots. I mean, sure, but none of them care as much about music as I do, so... Life does happen, Jonathan. Life does happen. There's no animosity, you know. I'm not mad at them for anything. You know, they're living their best lives. I'm not gonna be mad about that. They're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. So, I mean, if I need somebody else on here, then I'll look into it. But for now, I'm enjoying rocking it solo. They quit because they got bored of their own crap after Animals just I don't know what that means. Ryan been real quiet since the whole Utah situation. Okay. Wow. He was pretty quiet before that. Considering he quit months ago. I mean, Noah quit like, I don't know, 5 months ago probably. Ryan quit like 3 months ago probably. Did Noah get stuck in the trap house? Well, Noah would never leave the trap house. So, what does that even mean? Are you stuck in I mean, I guess he's not stuck. Maybe, I don't know. He's probably not stuck. He just, like, why would he leave? Wait, what's the Utah situation? We really don't need to get political here. That's unnecessary. We don't need to do any of that. From what I've heard, number 10, Final Cut, 9, Momentary Last Reason, 8, Division Bell, 7, Piper, 6, Adam Part Mother, 5, Meddle, 4, The Wall, 3, Dark Side, 2, Animals, 1, Wish You Were Here. It's not the worst ranking I've ever seen. Noah is vibing hard in the trap house. Well, when is Noah not vibing hard in the trap house? I mean, of course he is. I mean, y'all can get me to react to songs if you fucking, like, I don't know. If you want me to react to a song that's, like, less than, let me think about this. Like, $2 to react to a song that's, like, 4 minutes or shorter, I guess. So, if you want a song reaction, then you can do that. I guess if a song was like 10 minutes or longer, that would need to be like $5 per song. And whatever's in between there. Let's see. Huh? Who's Colin? Do you think my name is Colin? My name is not Colin. I don't know if you were talking to me, but my name is not Colin. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know you were talking to me or somebody else. I was just like, where are you getting Colin from? Oh my gosh. Oh. You're gonna start calling me Colin? Why? Just because it's close? I don't think I've ever been accidentally called Colin in my life. Have I come around to giving the rat a 10 yet? I guess no, because it's not in my 10 out of 10 songs playlist. But the argument could certainly be made for it to be a 10. Nighty night pin sticker. Do you think you guys will reunite at some point? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what we would reunite for. Do I like the new Clips album? I did like the new Clips album. I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it. And it was cool. Like, it's fun. I wouldn't say I liked it as much as this guy did, because he really went all in on it. Gave it a 10. I would give it like an 8. But it's a good album. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's fun. It's catchy. Very cool production. You know. You got it on vinyl, you would give it a 10. My goodness. Big Fantano guy over here. But it's not a 10. I wouldn't quite give it a 10. Why am I getting pink? Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's see if I want to give The Rat a 10. That is a great song. All the way down at the bottom. Where is it? Hold on. No. Did I listen to the Maruja debut? I think I'm pretty sure I finished it. So, yes? I'm pretty sure I finished it. I'm pretty sure. So, I'll go with yes. It's a cool album. It's a very solid undertaking from them. Where in the world is this song? Why don't I just search for it? I don't know. I should do album reactions for $5 now. Kind of depends on the length of the album. Also, it depends on, like, if I want, like, if I'm willing to make the time to do an entire album reaction. I mean, because it's going to be, like, what, 40 minutes minimum? Is it, like, worth $5 to make the time to do that on something that, like, maybe I'll like or have something to say about? I don't know. There it is. I don't even know if this is going to be able to hear it. You can definitely hear that. I don't know why I'm reading from all that. Go over there. You thought I didn't like the Velvet Underground and Nico? No, Noah didn't like the Velvet Underground. Noah does not like the Velvet Underground. Noah hates Lou Reed. Oh no, I'm a Velvet Underground fan. I enjoy them quite a bit. I need to make like a little graphic that I can put on the screen of like song requests. I have no idea how to do that. Have I listened to... I started the new 21 Pilots album. I thought the production was good, but it still has like a ton of... I mean, all their albums do, but this one has like... It just has all these little 21 Pilot isms that I don't like. When did it go from 3 idiots to 11? Probably like 3 months ago. It went from 3 to 1. I think it went from 3 to 2 to 1, but 3 months ago. Have I heard of Dirty Honey? Don't think so. New Strokes album would be awesome. You know, when I started listening to, like, was really, really into that, I mean, I still love the hell out of that song, but, like, when I first started listening to that song, like, I just thought that it was a funny coincidence that the lyrics are like, you've got a nerve to be asking a favor, you've got a nerve to be calling my number, and somebody that I had not talked to in a very long time. Like, I remember I was listening to that song when somebody that I had not talked to in a long time, like, started texting me. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Somebody that I did not want to text me started texting me, and I was like, please go away. Go away. Ew. Well, Hugo, I maintain that this is still the best punk song of all time. Black Math is still superior. It was not Noah. I talk to Noah all the time. Noah's my buddy. I love Noah. Noah's awesome. It is absolutely not Noah. Noah's great. What's up, Eep? It was Ryan. It was it was not Ryan either. It was neither of the two other idiots. It's not either of them. I mean, Ryan's my brother. I have never really gone that long without talking to him. I would like Mr. Bungle. What would I rate the first song of Breach? I can't spell Breach. That is a... Considering that they're basically known as a pop band, that's a pretty wild bass. I don't know why he keeps repeating the vocals. See, I don't like the that. I don't like that. The little vocal. Oh. That's corny. It looks like a White Stripes cover. Maybe. The oh woes in the background are that's just such a 21 Pilots thing to do, and that shit is so corny. I don't think he's a great singer either. Just his vocal tone is not great. It's a lot of effects on his voice.
I can come to you, tell me when. Pair up with me, I can run on you. In the end, I write a promise in pencil, but my loyalty's in pen. Use a mistake as a crooked stencil, then we trace it
Also
back
would
again.
not call him much of a rapper.
It was the same plan for a while. Decided to send me up and rip you out of your seat. You see, in
It just really uses a lot of effects, not always well. Drums sound good.
It's a breach.
I don't. The lyrics of the chorus are kind of corny. The melody is alright, but the lyrics of the chorus are pretty corny. But I can see that people like. I can see that kind of the melody of the chorus kind of getting stuck in my head. But I wondered where you are. I mean, if I'm hearing him right, I wondered where you are. I wanted you to show me the way around the city walls. Okay. I'd probably give that song like a 6 though. Like it's got cool production and stuff. These guys though, it just they're like almost a good band. But then they just release so much stuff that's like, why did you do these little things to it? Their best song is still probably Jumpsuit. If I had to pick one, I guess. It's like the only one that I have liked. I don't like, what was that? What is that? What is the vocal thing here? What is he saying? Like, I don't really care. What is that? I don't know. I have no idea what he says. I don't really care enough to look it up. It's not about what he's saying either. It's just like, why is that there? Bass is cool. Drums sound good. That's a nice groove. Okay, let's not pretend like he has good rap performances. He doesn't. I know, I'm not saying it ruins a song. I like the song. But just like, what is it? Why is it there? I have no idea what it's there for. I like the little, oh, they didn't do it there. When that, like, echoes out, that's cool. His voice is a little odd. I think it does it here. That's cool. I've heard Levitate. I've heard this whole album. I'm not a big Levitate fan. I'm very few white rappers that I can stand. His rapping is objectively good. I mean, he sounds so white. I just don't like his voice. He just sounds like a dork. Jumpsuit is nearly a 10. Relax. It's an 8 on its best day. So these lyrics are not particularly memorable. Probably should title this stream. I don't know if it's gonna restart it, but don't think it changed it. I don't think it restarted it. He's trying so hard. It just sounds like he's trying too hard. It's too personal to you. Who is getting this? Outside of 13-year-old girls, who is getting this emotionally attached to 21 Pilots? They are not worth that. Oh my gosh. Get emotionally attached to people who write better lyrics. Jeez. And who make better production decisions. Gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so stupid. Get emotionally attached to Aphex Twin. He's worth getting emotionally attached to. Why is... Okay, but like, is this album even worth being that emotionally attached to? I mean, it's the best that they're probably ever gonna do. But, like... Is it really that stellar of an album? It's okay. I mean, like, Jumpsuit's probably the best song. I mean, Morph is alright, because it's got, like, a decent chorus. It's not personal. Strictly business. Tom, this is business, and this man is taking this very, very personal. That melody's a little goofy. Alright, this voice is annoying me. Do you think we'll ever get another new Radiohead album? I'll say yeah. I think we'll get a new one. 2027. New Radiohead album, 2027. His voice is really weird on that chorus. Alright. This has been more than enough of 21 Pilots for me. You think Tyler is a better rapper or singer? Oh, he's a better singer than he is a rapper. I don't like him at all as a rapper. He can just shut up when he tries to rap. He needs to just not rap. That's an error. There's no reason for him to try to do that. Cole album reactions coming soon. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what album I would react to. Just do a Thursday afternoon album reaction. Paid ones? Oh, I mean, for the right price, I guess. I guess I would. I don't know. Is it back on here? Nope. Okay, never mind. Stop. Oh my gosh. Play Freebird. That's a pretty long song to play right now. Are You Experienced is the worst song on Are You Experienced? Worse than Remember? Or Can You See Me? Like, what are these songs even? I don't even remember what Stone Free is. Boy. This fucking sounds old. Can't hear the music at all. I mean, I've been playing music for like 15 minutes. You're the only person who said that. No, that is not the worst song on that album. You're out of your mind. That's crazy. What do I think of the Rolling Stones? Oh boy. Alright. Okay. Alright. Oh. Okay. That's where the camera is. I forget where the camera is sometimes. The Rolling Stones, in my opinion, are the most overrated artist probably ever. Like, the Rolling Stones, Queen, and the Smiths are like the three most overrated artists of all time. Because what did the Rolling Stones do better than like any of their contemporaries? For me, nothing. They didn't do anything better than their contemporaries. Any fucking genre that they did. Let's see. First of all, this is one of the most overrated songs of all time. This is one of the worst guitar solos I've ever heard in my life. The guitar solo in the song sounds like the amp wasn't even plugged in correctly. It sounds awful. they did a lot of blues rock, which is, obviously. Now, they were okay at blues rock, but like Led Zeppelin was 10 times better at blues rock. There's like probably 5 to 10. I'll be nice. There's at least 5 Led Zeppelin blues rock songs, like just straight up blues rock, like In My Time of Dying, When the Levee Breaks, Since I've Been Loving You, that are better than any song the Rolling Stones ever made. Certainly better than any of their blues rock songs. They did some folk rock, but like Led Zeppelin did folk rock better. Bob Dylan was doing folk rock way better. Simon and Garfunkel, I mean, the term rock there is used loosely, but still. And, like, they did a lot of ballads. I don't think Mick Jagger can sing a ballad to save his life. I think his vocals are terrible on ballads, and I don't even think he's a particularly good singer, regardless of what genre he's singing. But, like, where the hell is the song Angie? That song sucks. Where is it? Is it on here? I don't even know what album that song is on. It's not good enough to remember. Is it on here? Where the hell is Angie? Like, I would need somebody to tell me what the Rolling Stones did that was so great. I am consistently unimpressed by their songwriting. I don't think Mick Jagger's that good of a singer. I think he's annoying a lot of the time. I think their lyrics are fine, if not mostly unmemorable. Keith Richards cannot play a guitar solo to save his life. He's terrible at it. The other, Mick Taylor, I think was one of the guitarists they had who could actually sort of solo, but it's not like he was amazing at it. Gosh, what was their drummer's name? Whatever his name was, like, did he do anything besides keep tempo? I mean, what was he really doing that's, like, unbelievable? They had a rhythm guitarist for some reason, like he does. Charlie Watts, that's his name. Just one of the most boring drummers I can remember. Well, actually, I don't really remember because he's boring. Bass player is unsignificant. Like, just, what are they great at? Like, what are they great at? His riffs are very good. He came through with, like, I don't know, 10 good riffs in his career, Keith Richards, but like, I mean, he doesn't even, Jimmy Page is 10 times better of a riff writer, and I mean, this guitar solo makes me angry. It's so bad. Golly, it's so bad. Is he worse than Ringo? I would take Ringo Starr over the Rolling Stones drummer every day of the week. Where is that godforsaken guitar solo? Oh, Lord. Mick Jagger just sounds stupid. How did this get allowed? That is one of the most grating tones. Oh my Lord. You can use that to torture people. He's not even playing anything well. That's one of the worst guitar tones I've ever heard. I mean, the rest of the song, the groove is fine. It's decent. But I could never listen to that guitar solo. It hurts my ears. It's so fucking squeaky. That sounds like... I don't even know. I was gonna say a door, but doors aren't that fucking squeaky. Good lord. What the hell album? I don't even know what album Angie's on. God, I hate this song. What the fuck is that stupid ass cover? His vocals are so fucking bad. Ew. He is being so overly dramatic with his... He is such an annoying vocal tone on this song. I can't believe people think this guy is like an amazing singer. That blows my mind. I can't believe he just got up on stage and acted like an idiot, and people were like, fucking icon. I don't understand anything about it. And I'm like, even their good songs, I mean, Give Me Shelter is great. I'll give him that. But, like, okay, the best blues thing they ever did was probably this song. But, like, here's the thing. This came out in 1971, and yet the production still sounds like it was from, like... This would have been, like, good production or, like, standard production, like, in 1965. I don't understand why it sounds so dated. And, like, this is the best they're ever gonna do blues-wise. But, like... I mean, come on. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Come on. Like, this is no contest. This is not... It's not even close. This is infinitely better. Are you kidding me? This is like 10 times as creative. The production is mind-blowing. This song, I can't believe how good this song is. This is way better. The performances... The Rolling Stones have never played anything this well in their lives, and they never will. Not that they have to, I'm just saying, like, they can't. And, like, Led Zeppelin are not... Jimmy Page is by no means the most technically gifted guitarist of all time. Far from it. But still. Robert Plant is 10 times is way too little. Robert Plant is 100 times the singer that Mick Jagger ever has been or will be. Every member of Led Zeppelin was like at least 10 times better at their instrument than the Rolling Stones were. I fail to be impressed by almost anything that the Rolling Stones ever did. I think that you can just find one of their contemporaries that were just way better at whatever they were trying to do, honestly. At least the Stones didn't rip off anyone. Okay. Good for them. They're still way worse. Like, When the Levee Breaks... Does Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks sound anything like Memphis Minnie's When the Levee Breaks? Apparently, if you don't write the name of the artist whose song you're covering, now it's a worse song for some fucking reason. Fucking, Tony Iommi was a better riff writer. just for the record, too. I mean, I think Zeppelin had better lyrics than the Rolling Stones ever did. They were catchier, better production. And I mean, this isn't just Led Zeppelin. It's not like Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones. It's like Led Zeppelin, a million bands than the Rolling Stones. I mean, Bob Dylan was better at, like, everything. And he was doing it at the same time. Bowie was Bowie's a million times better. Hendrix was way better. I mean, just like folk music. This album is better than any Rolling Stones album. I mean, they are a wildly different. Even if you want to talk about like the psychedelic stuff that they did, like the Beatles did better psychedelic stuff. The Beatles had like better psychedelic rock and psychedelic pop than the Stones did. And better lyrics, too. Better production, better songwriting. Like, just, why would I listen to the Rolling Stones? Outside of, like, 5 songs that are good. There's just so many better options. What would you rate them overall as a band? I mean, most of their songs don't annoy me. I can't really come up with a good reason to listen to their song, because I'm like, I can just listen to a better version of this that either came out at the same time or maybe before or like slightly after, but like they don't piss me off. Some of their songs piss me off because some of their songs are terrible, but they're usually just like, whatever, this is fine, I guess. Probably like a 6, 5.5 to a 6 as a 6. A 6 is fair. I think a 6. I think the Rolling Stones were a 6 out of 10 band. Queen was like a 4 out of 10 band. The Smiths are probably like a 4 too. Queen is good. As a big Zeppelin fan, do you believe they are a 10? I mean, I've never thought about ranking artists as a whole, like giving them a number. I mean, I guess they would have to be. Someone has to be. Because they're the pinnacle of bands to me. So if I were to give somebody a 10, it would be them. But I mean, I don't think they were perfect. Like, The Crunge still exists. Black Mountain Side is not a good song. There's a couple songs on Presence that are forgettable as hell. Granted, I don't think you need to be perfect to get a 10. I don't know. A 4 might have been a harsh for Queen. Why did my keyboard do that? Gosh. No, I do not want to listen to Queen's greatest hits. Okay, like, nobody in Queen is bad at their instrument. I mean, nobody in the Rolling Stones is bad at their instrument. Keith Richards is boring at his instrument, so they're all boring at their instruments, but whatever. I do not care at all about Queen. Nothing about their songwriting, lyricism, performances, anything. Nothing about their songs makes me care about them in the slightest. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is a solid song. I could go the rest of my life without hearing it, and I probably wouldn't, I definitely wouldn't care. If Queen's music had disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't know for years. I mean, I wouldn't know for so long. I never have any desire to listen to Queen. Ever. That's why fucking none of these songs. I don't think I have any of these songs like saved on here. Bohemian Rhapsody is a masterpiece. I don't really like opera. Like, this is just corny. This is corny as hell. I think the vocals are way too dramatic. That's like my biggest gripe with Freddie Mercury. He is such an overly dramatic singer. And this is a very specific complaint, but he over enunciates the shit out of like the words that he's singing. He enunciates like a psychopath. I do not understand it. He wants you to hear every fucking letter of every word that he is saying. It's insane. And it irritates the hell out of me sometimes. He's so good though. I mean, his voice is fine. I've never thought it was like unbelievably great or something. He has a clean vocal tone and it's high pitched. I mean, wow, great. I've never thought he was a wildly emotional singer. I just thought he was overly dramatic. He really doesn't stand out to me that much, like at all. There's like 40 people alive right now who sound like him. Don't love how that piano sounds. What's their best album? I don't care. I don't give a shit what the best Queen album, like they have a best album or something. I mean, this is fine. I don't hate what's happening here. Solid melody. I still think he's being overly dramatic. He's going up and down so much. I don't know why. No, I don't want to see more. Sure, Sheer Heart Attack is their best album, I guess. I don't know. I've maybe gotten through 2 of their albums before I was so bored that I wanted to just die. Not a wildly remarkable guitar tone. This is the first time I've heard this song, this much of this song, in like 3 years. Can't really say that I miss it. Why is that guitar so quiet? What song do you think has great piano tone? Okay. Ugh! That part is I hate the piano right there. I hate it. Beep, 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 beep. It's so stupid. Fucking this song is a great piano. This piano's gorgeous. That's like everything. Pause it? Why do you want me to pause it? Pause what? Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't remember if it's an actual... I think it's like an automatic piano. But like this? That? Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Are you kidding me? This just sounds so much more natural. Karma reaction. Where is Karma? Some moonlight song. You want a reaction to the creator as a master plan? All 32.5 minutes of this. I don't know what y'all will fucking... This song is a great piano. Where is it? Great piano. This song is a nice piano. It's quiet, but that's a great piano. What is my take on Elliott Smith? Not a big fan of Elliott Smith either. I'm very sorry if I'm like saying that I don't like all your favorite artists. But in terms of like folk artists, he's not one of my favorites. I don't really like his voice. I've been known to be somewhat particular about my singers who I like and don't like. I'm not a big Elliott Smith guy. Is the Moonlight Sonata in here? I don't even remember seeing it in here. Yeah, man. Huge Sabrina Carpenter guy. Massive. Couldn't name a song by her, but that's my girl right there. Why does it always do that? It's so annoying. She can get it. You do you, man. Do you think if 21 Pilots had a different singer than Tyler, it would change your whole views on the band's music? Well, I don't know. I'd have to hear him with a new singer. You got engaged over the summer? Congratulations, man. That's fucking awesome. Way to go. That's fucking rad. You think New Grass is better? I mean, there's an argument to be made, certainly. I'm not dying on that after the Flood Hill. I'm very proud, Ice-Hero. Good job. Also, any time that Bill Evans sits behind a piano, it sounds incredible. Because Bill Evans is probably my favorite piano player of all time. If you pay for an album request, can I tell Noah to listen also? I mean, I can tell him to listen to it. I mean, I can't make him come on stream and react to it, but... I mean... I could tell him to listen and, like, maybe... I mean, I don't know what I can make him do. I'm not gonna make him do something he doesn't want to do. You could argue that this is like the best sounding piano ever. Okay, I still don't know who the hell is Mr. Bungle. Yeah. Is there a song? No, it's an album. Oh, okay. Sorry. Don't worry, that had not made any impression on me in the slightest yet. We can just keep listening to the greatest solo artist of all time. It's just SpongeBob guitar, don't worry. I don't know what that means, but okay. I mean, I guess if 21 Pilots replaced Tyler with, I mean, if they had a better singer, sure, I guess I would like them more. I don't think that would ever happen, but, I mean, if any band got a better singer, I don't know why I wouldn't like them more. Well, I guess that kind of depends. You think Sabrina Carpenter's that hot, Icy Room? I mean, she's decent looking. She's kind of got a retro thing going on that I'm not wildly crazy about, I guess. I will certainly let you know if I open up album requests. Kind of hard to beat that piano tone. What do I think about James Blake? I know... Boy, that name sounds so familiar. Okay, I've definitely seen this before. I'm pretty sure I've heard this. I don't know if I finished it, but let's see. I'm a 30-second impression. That is not what I expected him to sound like. The instrumental almost sounds like Burial. Like modern day Burial. I mean, that's kind of, the instrumental is cool. I'm not sure where I would land on him vocally. But that was a cool instrumental. I dug that. Out of curiosity, back to the Queen thing. What is to be like? What is so great about Queen? Out of curiosity, because I have yet to really hear anything that's particularly remarkable about them. Have you heard Charles Mingus moanin'? Does he have an album called Moanin'? Or is there like a... Is there like a YouTube video that you're talking about or something? What is this? I'm guessing Moanin' is an album by Charles Mingus. If it is, then I don't know. I haven't heard that one. It's a song. I don't think I've heard that song. Unless it's on or whatever. They just hit makers. Well, making a hit does not mean you made a good song, for the record. Just some great songs. I never saw Queen as an album band, but more so a band dozens of iconic songs. Do you find yourself coming back to them? Or like, do you find yourself in like a mood where you're like, I really want to hear some Queen right now? Because I don't think that has ever happened to me once in my life. Don't stop me now.
Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive.
He's already annoying me.
And the world, I'm turning inside out. Yeah. I'm floating around
Oh.
in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go.
I don't understand how so many bands that were that big had such boring drummers. I just like... Does he do anything besides just keep tempo, honestly? Does he do anything but just... do they ever tell him just like... I feel like all they ever told him is like, hey man, just play in 4/4 or something. I mean, I get that it is, you know, a lot of people have fun to that song because it's so upbeat. And, I mean, Freddie sounds like he's having a good time, but I just, I don't care. I'm just so bored. These guys contend with them for being the most, like, one of the most overrated bands ever. I don't like anything about these guys. Ugh. These lyrics are so bad. I don't want it that loud. Does he not sound like the biggest douche fucking ever? I mean, his voice is just so annoying. And God, these lyrics are so pretentious. I can't listen to this fucking guy. I hate his voice. I hate the way he sings. Drives me nuts. And it's so annoying. I heard this singer was like a Nazi or some shit. I don't fucking know. No clue. Not touching that either, so. Oh gosh. No. Stream ain't gonna like that song. You guys big Daughters fans? You think I dislike personal lyrics? Well, considering my obsession with The Glow Part 2, I doubt it. Shit on Imagine Dragons. Well, nobody likes Imagine Dragons outside of fucking 12-year-olds, but... I mean, does AC/DC really need to be... I mean, who cares about AC/DC enough to really do that? AC/DC is just boring. Gosh. They might be the worst band of all time. They have a real shot at being the worst band of all time. Honestly. I mean, this album is a 0. This album is a 0. I don't remember what I gave this one, but it was probably close. I mean, I know it was close to a 0. It was awful. I mean, I can't believe how many bad songs there are on this album. This is a 0. I think this one was a 0 if I remember it. This is a case to be made that that's a 0. I mean, this is just awful. So bad. I mean, oh, it's high-res Imagine Dragons. Wow. From a young age, taking my soul, get beauty through the into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took to me, shook at me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the. Okay. I'm done with that. That's enough of that. How do I feel about the Pixies? Pixies are cool. They got some good songs. Fucking... I love Where Is My Mind. That song is amazing. Doolittle's a cool album. Fucking... This is one of my favorite riffs of all time. Who's your most underrated band? If I were to ever do, like, karaoke, probably be to this song. Underrated band. Radiohead over Nirvana? Yeah. Underrated band. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? I love the lyrics of this song. These guys are underrated. Dope Body. Fucking... This album kicks ass. I don't think I could call Godspeed underrated. So. Gila Band is a little underrated. Oh, Fleet Foxes. Fleet Foxes, I think, do kind of count as being underrated. They're a little underrated. The Strokes have an underrated discography. I don't think the Strokes are underrated. Sleep might be a little underrated. I guess maybe Fleet Foxes. I mean, this album and Helplessness Blues can go toe to toe with like any band's best two albums. I mean, this shit is crazy good. I guess I'd probably have to go with Fleet Foxes. Even though they do get a decent amount of critical acclaim, it's... I don't think it's enough critical acclaim. Not only is this some of the best music of the decade, of the 2010s, this is one of the best songs of all time. This song is the best song. Please tell me you don't hate the Doors. I don't hate the Doors. The Doors are solid. I don't think they're amazing, but they have some good songs. The End is a great song. Ride It on the Storm is really good. On the other line, now that in our town is passed away, I'm reminded of the time it all fell in line on the 3rd of May, as if it were designed. I think this is Fleet Foxes' best album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think this right here is like one of the 20 greatest songs of all time. Arguably like a top 10 greatest song of all time, honestly. The lyrics are like some of the 5 best lyrics I've ever heard, probably. The lyrics on that song are unreal. Do I like the microphones? I fucking love the microphones. Are you kidding me? I can't spell. I mean, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm pretty sure we did a review on this album. Mount Erie or The Glow Part 2. I mean, The Glow Part 2 is probably one of my 5 favorite albums of all time, so I would go with The Glow Part 2. Do I like metal? Sure. Prog metal specifically. Less so. Much less so. I'm not a big prog. Okay. I'm not a huge prog guy. Like Pink Floyd, obviously great. King Crimson, there's some great King Crimson albums. Close to the Edge is a very good album by Yes. I don't really know if there's another prog band that I really like. I don't know. Prog metal to me is like, look at how fast we can play these instruments. Like, do you know how hard it is to play this stuff? It's like fucking great, dude. Awesome. That's so sick. Doesn't sound good, but boy, that was hard to play, I bet. And the production on prog metal usually sucks ass. So, what do I think of Spiderland by Slint? I'd probably give that album like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's decently overrated. Between the Buried and Me. I mean, this will be very quick to tell you if I even like this. I don't know why I only typed in the word buried. Colors. Play mirrors. The Great Misdirect. Oh, that's live. The Great Misdirect. I think you would like Australian prog rock band The Butterfly. I would not assume that I would like any prog band. And certainly not any prog metal band. 90s electronica? You have to be a little more specific. Currently, I don't know what is prog and or metal about anything that I'm hearing right now. I'm still not clear on how this is prog and or metal. This sounds like if Radiohead did a jam session. Okay, but this is not even remotely metal. I don't see how this is metal at all. There's nothing metal about this. I mean, that was fine. You know, like for what it was like solid, I guess. Kind of art rock, sort of. You lost me. Get that dumbass growl shit out of here. I fucking hate that growling shit. It's so stupid. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't care. Don't ever fucking growl in my ear. Ugh. I'm missing out on hearing some guy growling at me. I don't think I am. I don't think so. It's intense, awesome shit. Okay. I think when metal bands try to do that stuff, it sounds fake and stupid more than intense, but alright. The only person who's allowed to growl at me is Michael Gier. Oh boy. Fucking hell. Alright, this has been a 2.5 hour stream, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope y'all had fun. What the hell were we doing? Oh, right, the Fantano, Pink Floyd, Worst the Best. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a good one. I still don't know how to end these. Don't think I ever will. But I'm gonna end it. Bye-bye.